Good evening. I am Professor Shalini Sahai from EC Department, SIRT Bhopal. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the Smith chart. Smith chart was developed in 1939 by P.W. Smith. It is a graphical tool to analyze and design transmission line circuits. Today, it is used to categorize the performance of the microwave circuits. So it is a graphical representation which is used in many applications for the to calculate the performance of the microwave circuits, as well as it is used for designing the transmission line. Now discuss about the Smith chart. It is mainly used to find out the values of the impedances, voltages, currents, etc. All repeat every half wavelength. So we can find out the values of impedances, voltage, currents, reflection coefficients, standing wave ratio at various wavelength. So these wavelength are the functions in terms of lambda by 2. Now the magnitude of the reflection coefficients, the standing wave ratio, which is known as SWR, do not change. So they categorize the voltage and current patterns on the line. So we know that standing wave ratios, this ratio, it is an ratio of the incident voltage and the reflection voltage. When the mismatch of the load occurs in transmission line, so a part of the incident wave reflected back, or it's come back from the load. So the superimposition of the incident wave and the reflected wave causes the standing wave motions. So these points which does not move, so it is a resultant of the incident waves and the reflected waves. If the load impedance is normalized by the characteristic impedance of the line, then the voltages, currents, impedances, etc., all still have the same properties. But the results can be generalized to any line with the same normalized impedances. Like as we use in filters, we normalize the characteristic impedance. So we take the value of the characteristic impedance in the normalized range. So we can use that range to apply on the various impedances. The Smith chart is a clever tool for analyzing transmission line. So its main application is also used in the analysis of the transmission line. The outside of the chart shows locations on the line in wavelengths. So the length of the transmission line is taken in terms of wavelengths. The combination of intersecting circles inside the chart allow us to locate the normalized impedance and then to find the impedance anywhere on the line. So the first point is to make the impedances in the normalized range. So we can generalize that range to find the impedance anywhere on the line. So this is the graphical representation of Smith charts. So these are the real impedance axis, and these lines are showing, these circles are showing the values of the imaginary impedance axis. And these lengths are considered in terms of the wavelength. Now the impedance divided by the line impedance, for example, if we have the Z1 is equals to 100 plus J50. So we have normalized this range. So if we take the value of the characteristic impedance normalized range in terms of 50, so we have normalized this range 2 plus J. So if we have taken 75 minus J 100, so we have normalized with the 50 ohms range. We have divided this range and it comes to be like this. So in this way, what we have done is the given impedances are calculated in terms of the normalized impedances, and then we have plotted these values on the Smith chart. So we have considered various values of the impedances, and there we have normalized these range because the chart does not follow all the values. So we have to make the scale. So in making the scale, we will normalize these range into a certain range. If so, we have divided the impedances by the normalized range. Thus, the first step in analyzing a transmission line is to locate the normalized load impedances on the chart. Next, a circle is drawn that represents the reflection coefficient, or SWR. The center of the circle is the center of the chart. The circle passes through the normalized load impedances. Any point on the line is found on this circle. Rotate clockwise to move towards the generator away from the load. The distance moved on the line is indicated on the outside of the chart in the wavelengths. So in this way, we can analyze the transmission line on the Smith chart. So we will move the line or the point either in clockwise or in anti-clockwise, upward and the downward towards the generator. So we have marked this is the Smith chart towards the generator. When we move the point from in this direction, if we move the point in this direction, then it will be away from the generator. So we have considered the direction of the line towards the generator and away from the generator. In this way, we can calculate the reflection coefficient, as we know that incident wave moves from the generator to the load and reflected wave move from the load to the generator. This is the full circle is 1/2 wavelength, since everything is repeating after lambda by 2. Now the line is matched to the left of the stub because the normalized impedance and admittance are equal to 1. We have taken the value as 1. Now the point on the Smith chart where the line is matched in the center, that is normalized, value of Z is 1, where also the reflection coefficient circle has 0 radius or the reflection coefficient is 0. Thus, the goal with the matching problem is to add an impedance so that the total impedance is the characteristic impedance. So as we know, the characteristic impedance of the transmission line is under root of R plus j omega L upon G plus j omega C. So with this help Smith chart, we can find the total impedance of the transmission line. Now we'll study some fundamental about the matching networks. The purpose of the matching network is to eliminate reflections at the terminals M dash for waves incident from the source. Even though multiple reflections may occur between these 2 points, only a forward traveling wave exists on the feed line. So this is the feed line, which is known as the transmission line, where the voltage or current is moving from generator to the load, and this is the matching network, and this is the load impedance. So the line is traveling from the generator to the load. These are the various examples of the matching networks. This is the feed line. If we consider the length of the transmission line as lambda by 4, there will change the different values. Now it is in series lambda by 4 transformer inserted at D is equals to D maximum or D is equals to D minimum. So these are the examples of the matching network which are connected to the transmission line at various wavelengths. Thank you.